What if I told you that Evil Dead Burn isn't just another standalone horror movie? What if those few seconds in the trailer secretly connected every modern Evil Dead film together? A mysterious newspaper clipping, a familiar Deadite by the lake, references to the original 1981 classic, and hidden clues that many fans completely overlooked. For months, horror fans have been asking one question: is Evil Dead Burn actually a sequel to Fede Álvarez's Evil Dead? The answer is much more interesting than a simple yes or no, because if the trailers are telling the truth, Evil Dead Burn could finally be connecting every corner of the Evil Dead universe. Let's break it all down. After the massive success of Evil Dead Rise, fans expected the next movie to continue that story. Instead, Warner Bros. Announced Evil Dead Burn, introducing an entirely new cast, a new location, and a brand new nightmare. Naturally, everyone started wondering, is this another reboot, a sequel, or something completely different? The answer lies in how the Evil Dead franchise has always told its stories. Unlike franchises like Halloween, The Conjuring, or even Scream, Evil Dead doesn't rely on following the same characters over and over again. Instead, every movie is connected through one horrifying object, the Necronomicon. Also known as the Book of the Dead, every time someone opens this cursed book, everything goes horribly wrong. That's the real connective tissue of this franchise. Not the people, not the locations, the evil itself. Let's start with the biggest clue everyone noticed. Near the beginning of the trailer, we see a possessed woman standing beside a lake. At first glance, she just looks like another dead egg, but longtime fans immediately recognize something familiar. She looks almost identical to Jessica, the possessed woman from the opening sequence of Evil Dead Rise. Remember Jessica? She was infected during the film's terrifying cold open before brutally attacking her friends at the lakeside cabin. Many fans now believe that Burn may actually pick up after those events. If that's true, the evil never disappeared. It simply found new victims, and that would instantly place Burn in the same universe as Rise. But here's where things become even more interesting. One blink and you'll miss it shot in the trailer shows an old journal filled with newspaper clippings. One article mentions 4 bodies being discovered after a cabin fire. Sound familiar? Because that's almost exactly how the events of Fede Álvarez's Evil Dead 2013 ended. Although Warner Bros. Hasn't officially confirmed the reference, fans are convinced this isn't a coincidence. Instead, it feels like a subtle acknowledgement that the horrific events from the 2013 reboot actually happened in the same world. It's the kind of Easter egg Evil Dead fans absolutely love. Small, easy to miss, but incredibly rewarding once you notice it. As if those connections weren't enough, the trailer also includes references to Professor Knowby's recordings. If you've watched Sam Raimi's original The Evil Dead, you'll remember those haunting audio tapes. They're the reason the Deadites were awakened in the first place. Those recordings have become one of the franchise's most iconic pieces of lore. By bringing them back once again, Evil Dead Burn reminds us that this curse has been spreading for decades. Different people, different locations, same ancient evil. Not exactly. Think of it less like Scream 2 and more like different chapters of the same cursed book. Every movie tells a new story, but each story exists because someone made the same terrible mistake, reading from the Necronomicon. That means Burn doesn't require you to watch every previous movie before seeing it, but if you have, you'll notice countless hidden references that make the experience much more rewarding. This time, the story follows Alice, a grieving widow searching for peace after unimaginable loss. She visits her in-laws hoping to rebuild what's left of her life. Instead, she walks directly into another nightmare. As expected, the Deadites return. Families become monsters, safe places become death traps, and survival quickly turns into absolute chaos. Leading the cast is Sohaila Yacoub, alongside Hunter Doohan, Luciana Buchanan, Tondi Wright, George Puller, Errol Shand, and Maud Davey. But perhaps the biggest reason fans are excited is the director. Evil Dead Burn is directed by Sebastian Vanishek, the filmmaker behind the acclaimed French horror film Vermines, also known internationally as Infested. That movie earned praise for its relentless tension, disturbing atmosphere, and brutally creative horror. So when Warner Bros. Handed him the keys to one of horror's bloodiest franchises, fans knew something special could happen. Interestingly, Lee Cronin, director of Evil Dead Rise, was originally expected to return, but he stepped away to direct The Mummy, giving Vanishek the opportunity to create his own terrifying vision. And judging by the first reactions, he absolutely delivered. Critics who attended early screenings have been saying the same thing. This movie is absolutely relentless. Several reviewers described it as the nastiest, the bloodiest, and possibly the most disturbing Evil Dead film ever made. They praised the practical effects, the inventive kills, the terrifying Deadites, and the film's willingness to push the violence even further than previous entries. Some critics even compared its intensity to the infamous wave of new French extremity horror films. Not everyone loved every aspect of the movie. A few reviewers felt it occasionally runs too long or becomes slightly chaotic. But even those critics admitted one thing. If you came looking for outrageous gore and unforgettable horror, Evil Dead Burn absolutely delivers. Technically, no. But honestly, you'll appreciate Burn much more if you've already seen the previous films. Here's the recommended viewing order. The Evil Dead 1981, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2013, Evil Dead Rise. Watching them all lets you understand the evolution of the Necronomicon, the Deadites, and all the hidden callbacks Burn appears to include. So what do you think? Do you believe Evil Dead Burn is secretly connecting the entire modern Evil Dead universe? Or are these trailer moments simply clever Easter eggs for longtime fans? Let us know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the biggest movies and hidden details from the world of horror. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you ever find a strange old book wrapped in human skin, don't read it.